Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be my review for Once Upon a Time, Season 3, Episode 20, Kansas. And this episode was really good, although I feel like they ruined the whole Zelena thing with the flashbacks. I feel like they kind of ruined that for me. I really enjoyed the episode, though. I loved the Regina scenes in this episode. I love that, but I'm really looking forward to the finale. I think the finale is going to be pretty awesome, in my opinion. I'm not going to be able to watch the whole thing, but because of Game of Thrones, but that's a different story. That's a whole different thing, but, this episode, nevertheless, it was really good, and I really did appreciate, so let's just get to it. As we know, the last episode ended with, Snow due to have her baby, and they're speeding to the hospital. Emma and Henry are following close behind. Gold is spinning as Zelena comes in, and she's pleased with his work. Snow screams in pain as Dr. Whale calls for a nurse. Zelena tells Gold that she knows spinning clears his mind, and then turns the pile of gold into her brain, puts it into her box of magical stuff, and she says there's just one more ingredient to collect, and Snow is screaming again. And, now Zelena has gold, and basically then we saw a flashback, and the flashback was very interesting this episode. I really like the flashback in this one. We see Gold tutoring a young Regina while Zelena watches from Oz, jealous and angry. She tells her monkey to be quiet. Glinda comes in and tells her she's not here to fight. She's not here to fight her, and she thanks her for showing Oz the true nature of the wizard. So Glinda says the wizard will do good to spend some time as Z's monkey, and Glenna tells her she's wasting her time. She tells her no one can come back in time and invites her to come with her to meet some people. She tells her to come to meet her real sister. So now Zelena has Gold digging. He tells her her destiny is destiny, and she says he's wrong, and she can change it by keeping the past. She says her mother will keep her, and Regina will never be born. She'll have everything she wanted. Gold tells her no matter what her past changes, it won't change who she is. Zelena says, we'll see. Gold has carved out a large compass, like carving in the dirt, presumably to work the spell. And I actually think the time travel thing is kind of interesting now. I like it. I think it's interesting. So, Snow is still in labor, stressed out and everything. And Emma works a protection spell. Regina says it may keep out anyone trying to work dark magic. So, David tells Emma she can't fight Zelena alone, and she says she has to take Hook along. Now, once Emma and Hook talk, it gets really intense here, because again, Emma really does not know if they can trust Hook. She's really not sure. And, as they're talking and everything, also, we got a very interesting conversation with, Doc Hopper and Henry. And basically, they're saying how, he's saying he's looking for apartments for him and his mom, because Emma's planning, as we know, to go back to New York once this whole thing is over. And, the doctor's trying to convince, the doctor's telling Henry, have you talked to Emma about possibly staying in Storybrooke? And Henry says, simply, we're home. So, it definitely is interesting there, and we'll have to see what happens there. But Emma and Hook are talking about where she will go. Hook tells Emma that she and Henry will be in the town. Hook asks what Henry thinks, and she says she's his mom, and she'll decide. Hook says she wants to leave for her, not Henry. And Zelena walks on them, tells her she needs to give up her magic or lose Hook. Gold attacks Hook at her orders, puts his head right down in water right away. It's really intense. Emma struggles to pull her loose, but Zelena tells her she can't free him. She poofs away in gold smoke. And then Glenda tells Zelena to meet the other witches, and she meets all these other witches and everything, so that was kind of interesting. Hook is then released from the water finally, but he's not breathing, and Emma has a very difficult choice to make, She can either, a very difficult choice, because she knows if she kisses him, she loses her powers. However, she doesn't want him to die, obviously, so in the end, she does end up kissing him, which in turn makes her lose her powers, so it definitely was an interesting thing to see. And Hook is back, so he asks her what she's done, and he's really upset that she chose what she chose, and, he's not happy about that. So, the whole Glenda thing was really interesting, because, basically, Zelena is watching, and she's telling she's telling Glenda, I don't belong here, and Glenda's telling her that you're powerless, and with it, you can accomplish untold miracles. Glenda says she's one of them now. She enters the mirror, and all of Zelena's envious green fades away. She's beautiful and pure again. Glenda tells her she took control of her destiny and has done this for herself, and that's basically the message of this episode. Zelena and Gold march through town as Snow is still in labor, and Zelena and Gold enter the hospital, and she knocks out everyone. Belle stands in her way, she knocks her out as well, and Glenda shows Zelena, and then Regina tells Hopper to take Henry. Go hide Regina now in her way. And she knocks out Regina. So, Regina's unconscious, and no one is standing in Zelena's way at this point. It's really cool here. And then, as far as the flashback goes, they end up meeting up with Dorthy, who I was surprised we saw Dorthy, because in Once Upon a Time, they said we're not going to see Dorothy, but I thought it was interesting. At first it was like, I don't like it, but then I did like it. So David tells Snow to focus and give one more push, and finally she does have the baby. But once that baby is born, Zelena goes right into that hospital. She bursts in. She says it's a shame she has to break up the family. She takes the baby, so now Zelena has the baby, and it was really intense here. Honestly, this part felt like a season finale. Even though a season finale is next week, this felt like a season finale. And it was really intense here. So Glenda tells Dorothy she's glad she's there with them. They all sit at a table, tell her that their home is here, and, they're all talking and everything. So that's what happened there. So Zelena has the baby, and basically, as they walk along, tells the child that they're almost home. Snow lies in bed weak and devastated. They're both really upset. David takes his sword, runs out. Regina asks where he's going, and he says he has to get his son back. Emma comes in, and she has to tell them she failed. David says they took her brother, and Emma says Zelena took her magic. So Regina asks how it happened. She says it's not important. Henry tells Regina that she can't beat her sister. He says Zelena only beat her because she has more magic. So they tell her that when she kissed Henry, she broke the curse with love, which is white magic. Henry tells her he knows there's good in her. Robin comes up and tells her the same thing. Henry tells her she was once a villain, but now is a hero, and I just thought that was great, because here's what he says to her. He says, once upon a time you were a villain, but now you're a hero. Huh, get it, once upon a time? Yeah, but I love this next scene, this next flashback scene. I loved it, personally. Dorothy's going to get water from the well. Zelena comes out. She says she didn't recognize her, and she asks if she's okay. Zelena says she decided to show her true colors, and Zelena says, according to the prophecy, she's the only one who can defeat her. She tries to throw a fireball, and Dorothy tosses water on her, and as expected, because she's the Wicked Witch, Zelena does melt because of this. And, Dorothy does not know what to do. She's really upset. Dorothy calls for Glenda, who puffs there, and she tells her that she threw water on her and points to the melting mess. And Glenda says, you defeated her, because that's what Dorothy was supposed to do. She was supposed to defeat her. And Dorothy's like, I didn't want to do it, and everything. And as soon as she walks away, somehow Zelena comes back to life. And I was actually kind of upset by that. They ruined the whole thing, and I was not happy about that flashback. That was the only thing I did not like. So Zelena tells Gold that once she changes the past, she'll find him again. This time he'll choose her. He tells her he won't, and says no matter what she does, he'll find a way to kill her. And here we go with the very intense scene of Zelena versus Regina. It is awesome here. Zelena calls for flying monkeys, pushes Regina back, and Regina's back on her feet. Zelena tells her that she has no dark magic she can touch. Zelena tells her that they're both bad. Regina says not to tell her who she can be. Regina pops up some white magic on her hands as Zelena asks, and she's basically like, stop this now. And it looks like she's about to kill Zelena. And Gold gets ready to kill Zelena. At this point, he wants to kill Zelena. He wants her dead. And, Regina grabs up the Dark One and says, this has to stop, they've taken way too many lives, and she's taken way too many lives, and heroes don't kill. So, Zelena, she's a hero now, and Regina says that today she is. So I thought that was a great scene. I love seeing this badass side of Regina, this more, hero side of Regina. I love seeing it. I thought Regina was probably I loved her performance in this episode. I really did. So Glenda takes Dorothy back to Emerald City, and of course she tells her to meet the wizard and everything, because he'll tell her how to get back home. And the wizard gives Dorothy, surprisingly, gold heels, not ruby slippers, gold slippers. And when that happens, she clicks her heels. Glenda tells the wizard he can show his true self now, and it turns out it's actually Zelena. It's not Walsh, it's Zelena. And she tells Glenda that now that Dorothy's gone, no one can stop her. Glenda says that as long as she's in Oz, she will not stop looking for a way to stop her. Zelena says she needs to go, and puffs her away to the Enchanted Forest. That was really big. And then, next what happens is Zelena sits in a jail cell, asks why Regina doesn't kill her. Why don't you just kill her? And Regina basically says she wants her to create a new destiny, or else she will take her heart and crush it. And she tells Zelena that she has to put that pendant somewhere safe, and she walks out. Regina goes into her vault, hides the necklace away in a box, and she smiles triumphantly. Now, I knew right here it was too good to be true, and it really was too good to be true. And then we get probably the cutest scene in the episode, which is Gold and Belle. And basically, Gold and Belle are talking. They go to each other. They hug tight. She tells him she knew why he would be back. He says her constant faith is a blessing. She tells him that she knows it wasn't him. It was Zelena. He says not always. He asks why. She always stand by him. And she says she loves him and always has. So she has the Dark One dagger. And he asks how she got it. She says Regina gave it to her. And, basically they keep talking and everything about how to defeat Zelena and everything. And eventually, he says, he takes the dagger in his hand, says the dagger's trust, and that means she trusts him with all his heart, and she says she does. He hands the dagger back to her, and he says he's now hers. She asks what he's saying, and he asks her to marry him, and she says yes. So I don't know if this is going to work. I think this is probably going to be the part where Zelena attacks everyone. We're going to have the wedding next week, and I don't think it's going to be a good thing. So it's going to be really interesting. I'm really surprised that that Gold and Belle got engaged, but very happy for them, but I don't think it's going to work for them. Because of what happens in the next scene, which I thought was it was awesome here. Before that, David comes into Snow's hospital room hiding their son, and they're seeing their son, they're happy that they have a son and everything. And the next thing that happens is, Zelena hears footsteps outside her cell, thinks it's Regina, but it's actually Gold. And he tells her that Belle thinks she has the dagger, but then he pulls out the real one. And he says the only real good thing his dad has taught him was sleight of hands. He's suddenly inside her cell. She begs for mercy. He reminds him she has no powers anymore. And he tells her that he promised Neil would avenge his death, and Rumpelstilkin never breaks his promise. He takes the sword, he takes the dagger, puts it right in her heart. As soon as that happens, she turns to green sand, a green light then. But the weirdest thing is, there's this green light that comes out on the box that holds her pendant, and green smoke just starts swirling out across Storybrooke to the intricate carving area of Zelena's spell, which turns gold, and then a swirling portal opens. So I honestly don't know what happened there. Is Zelena still alive? I don't know. I'm thinking she is still alive, but I'm basically thinking that was where all her magic went, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next episode. My question is this wedding going to work? I don't think it's going to work. What is this smoke all about? It looks like it's a portal, because in the promo, they showed, like, Emma falling into a portal. Either way, the season finale is going to be amazing. I love this episode. I thought it was a fantastic episode. Also, are we going to see Dorthy in the present time? I think we will. I think that's what they're setting up, is that they're going to have to, Dorothy's going to have to be the one to help them out. I think that's probably what's going to happen. How will this season end? I don't know. Is it going to be as big of a revelation as the mid-season finale was? I'm really not sure. What else am I wondering? Oh, will Emma stay in Storybrooke, or will she move back to New York? We'll have to see. That's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for Game of Thrones. So, see you then. Bye.